Hi guys, I have a craft for you today. I've always wanted to recreate this from my grandmother's house. It is wall art. I made this stencil template with my silhouette machine, which I will link for free, the stencil for you in my description. It's love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. And so I made this stencil so I could do a lot of them. Here I am weeding it all out. The rainbows, definitely I couldn't do the individual colors, so I'm going to paint them on just a little line. It's pretty easy to get those colors. You'll see. And I found this giant roll of burlap at the Goodwill bins, and I've been looking for something to use it for, and this is perfect. So the trick to keeping it from unraveling is Mod Podging the edges. So after I cut it down to size, this is me just adding some Mod Podge to the edge. It's just clears dry and it'll keep it from unraveling. That's the trick there. Then once that all dried, I peeled the stencil off from its backing and carefully laid it onto the burlap. The stencil's a little tricky is that little kind of elbow piece on the canoe paddler, but you can do without that. I added it in for this one. And here I am looking at the original so I can get the colors right. So it's love many, everybody's red, trust few. I did the rainbows white so I could add on the color later, and the people are blue. And then always paddle your canoe is yellow. Just dotting that paint on there. Dot, dot, dot. So here I am carefully pulling that stencil off. You gotta let that dry for a little while. Looks good. Right on that burlap, and then I poured out the colors to add the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Love a good rainbow. I also painted the paddle for the canoe purple, so it stood out a little bit more. And the original was a different color too. And then I was going to get dowels, but I decided when I was cutting down a spice bush near my garden in the back to use those. They smelled so good. I just needed to get a pocket knife and cut off some of those little stick pieces on the edges so it would be a little less bumpy in the final product. It's a little tricky, but it worked. And here I'm going to get ready to attach it to that stick, but I wanted to tie on the twine first so I could hide the edges underneath the fold over of burlap. So I just tied on 2 or 3 good knots on each side. I cut that length that I wanted it to be. And then just tuck those little edges underneath when I glue the burlap to it so you can't see them. hang up our banner. Love it. It reminds me of the one at my grandmother's house. It makes me happy.